What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, as always. Oh, what's going on, guys? We're trying a different new camera here. I'm not quite sure of the angle, which I'm using a laptop camera here tonight, guys. See how it goes. Another beautiful day, guys. I'm investing in myself, right? I spent most of the day today doing an online hypnosis seminar. I spoke about briefly in last night's video, and I loved it. And it actually brought up an opportunity to follow up with it. And I actually invested a large chunk of, I mean, maybe not a lot for a lot of people, but a lot of money for me, into about 60 hours worth of training throughout it, right? Because that's what this is about today, guys. Is taking leaps of faith and investing in myself, and this, it's what I urge you guys to do, stronger than anything, really. It's the most important thing you can really do today, guys, is invest in yourself. Like, honestly, if you told me a few short months ago that I was gonna be, looking at myself, or having people, tell me that I'm becoming a spiritual leader, I'd have laughed. I would have completely laughed. But that's where this is going, guys. I said it before. God has chosen me because I answered the call, and this is the calling I'm being led to, is show you guys that you can live a better life. There's something better out there for you, and there's two ways I'm doing this: by A, doing it, right, walking the walk, and then by also talking the talk, letting you guys know what I've done and what's working for me, and what's going good and what isn't, right? So, number one, be the person you are most inspired by, right? Instead of waiting for somebody to inspire you, be that inspired person. Invest in yourself, right? Now, start off with, all right, the steps to doing so. We talk about it, right? There's different ways of looking at it. Remember, the reasons come first. So you gotta have your reasons. Obviously, in addiction, and guys, again, I forget, guys. Please subscribe, like the videos, comment, share. Help me grow these things. I gotta remember to promote these things. As part of this is believing in myself and believing that I'm worth promoting, right? Or I'm worthy of this, right? So it's another something that I struggle with, and I challenge myself. So, guys, please. I love you all for being here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with me. You guys have been commenting a lot more. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. I love it. Like I said, we're starting to gain a little traction here, starting to grow a little bit, and it means absolutely everything to me. So thank you so very much. So yeah, remember, guys, reasons come first, right? You're not going to do anything if you don't have a reason to do so, right? Now, obviously, we started out here geared towards alcoholism and addiction, and we're always going to be geared that way. But we're expanding it, and so you can literally take these lessons and transform them into any part of your world, right? But remember, the reasons come first, as in why, right? The why. You got to have your why before you have anything. Obviously, drugs and alcohol, it's killing you, right? It's gonna take your soul, take everything you own, and eventually take your life. So that's a pretty good why right there. But guys, find your why. You know what I mean, and understand it, and think about it deeply. Like, let it sit in your heart. Talk to God. Explain to Him why. God, I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be. These drugs are killing me. I can't get off it. I need help. Ask Him, man. Again, it always comes down to number one is find your higher power. Find a relationship with the higher power. It's the most important. It's the most important step, guys. It gives you so much strength. His strength is made perfect in your weakness, right? And that certainly was the case with me, because I did not have the strength to walk away from drugs, but I walked away from drugs because He gave me His strength when I needed it. So, guys, I'm telling you, believe in this shit. It is real. Give yourself a shot, right? But guys, and if you're on the fence, I mean, and again, it blows my mind to think anybody be on the fence about why they need to stop doing drugs or alcohol, because if you're an addict like I was knocking at death's door, guys, and yeah, and it had taken everything. The only thing it hadn't taken from me permanently was my complete life. It had killed me twice. I told you, I've overdosed and been technically dead twice, actually, like for more than a couple of seconds getting hit. I'm talking dead for 5-8 minutes, like scary, right? Anyway, yeah, find your why, guys. If you're not to that point yet, are you losing relationships? Are you losing your place to live? Are you losing a house, mortgage, car, a job? I mean, these are all perfectly good reasons why you want to stop doing these things, right? So, but identify your why, and talk to God about it, and let Him know that and let Him know that you need help, guys. Lean on it, right? So you find your why. When the pain of the fear, the pain of living on the street, the fear of living on the street, fear of losing your house. Like, you know, eventually we talk about, like, I have no pain and fear and anxiety today, but obviously when you're trying to overcome something, that's a good reason why. You have, you know, you have fear, you have pain, and you have anxiety for these things, right? Well, you got to identify that, and you got to take hold of that. You got to use that as fuel. Make that the catalyst, right? Make the pains, make the shit that's just, that right now is making you feel like you can't do something about it. Make those reasons the reasons why you have to do something about it. Take that can't and turn it into a must. It's so empowering, guys. It really is, right? When the pain gets bad enough, when the fear gets to be enough, you'll figure out a reason, you know, reason how. But you gotta start with a why, right? Once you figure out your why, now you start figuring out how, right? And the next thing is how. You know, when it gets to be bad enough out there, you're gonna find a way to get around it, right? You're gonna find a bed in a rehab. You're gonna find a halfway house, a sober house. You're gonna find something that works for you, right? So invest in yourself, guys. Reach out, ask for help, talk to God, ask God to help you, ask God to give you strength, right? Ask Him to give you clarity, to give you a direction, you know, to know which direction you got to go. Guys, if you can't do it on your own, have somebody, what do they call it? Section you. Here in Massachusetts, they call it section you. Somebody can actually have you locked up in rehab, and then that's how, I've never actually been sectioned, but I've been put in jail, right? It's basically the same thing. And, you know, this was the only time I walked into a rehab willingly on my own, because I finally wanted it up, because I found God. But all the other times I got clean, it was because I actually got locked up, and you know, as far as I was concerned, I basically had sectioned myself, because I'd let myself have warrants, and I'd just go, you know, run amok until I finally got caught up, because I knew there was an end in sight, and that was basically me sectioning myself. So do what you got to do to get into a program, and you know, if it's that bad, guys, you know, and you get a warrant out, then just go get yourself locked up in jail. Sometimes, you know, a 30-day stint in jail can be the best thing that ever happened to you. But I don't recognize that. I don't recommend that, guys. Just you know, get into a program if you're struggling. But anyway, recognize your why. Okay, now once you got your why, start finding a strategy. Right, set a target, something you're going to attain. You know, go to rehab, find a bed in a rehab, start calling every day. And again, you guys can find ways to apply this in any part of your life, but you know, my experience is with addiction, so that's kind of what I gear these things to, and that's just what I know. So, but again, you can take these steps. You can transfer these steps into any area of your life, anything you need to overcome to become a better life, and that's literally what we're starting to get into. Because I'm beyond that now. Now I'm signing up for all these self-improvement seminars, because I realized that my job was toxic and what I was doing wasn't right. It put me in environments that weren't healthy and aren't safe for me. So I won't go back to those environments now. I'm working for myself, and I still do construction, and I still do plumbing and mechanics, but I don't do it with the same people in the same environments. And even then, I'm phasing myself up because I'm getting older. I can't do that for the next 30 years, right? So I'm finding other avenues. But I'm investing in myself by taking seminars, and that's when you can never go wrong investing in yourself. But, you know, in the early days, start small. Start up with therapy and things of that nature. We'll get to that. But, so yeah, set targets that are necessary and attainable, right? Small steps, guys. Give yourself small goals that you can actually attain, and then celebrate when you hit those little small goals, and then, you know, be proud of yourself and take that momentum and step on to the next one. Keep the ball rolling, right? You know, and so how do you do that? Well, you find a strategy. Again, call, you know, if you're in addiction, call, find a bed in a rehab. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. Once you get out of rehab, now you got to start finding a strategy to stay sober, right? You know, how you going to do that? Well, find a new environment, right? If you're living with a bunch of drug addicts, you can't get out of rehab and go back to living with those guys. So get into a halfway house, find sober living, and there's all sorts of different programs to help you pay for that stuff if you need to get on your own, guys. Find scholarships, find therapists. You know, talk to your counselors at rehab, or if you're not going to rehab, find an outpatient program. Go to your doctor and tell them you're hooked on drugs. You know, ask for help. There's a million different ways to get help. If you need help, send me a comment, let me know where you're at, and I'll find you something. You know what I mean? But there's plenty of help out there, guys. There's no excuse not to. You just gotta want it. You gotta do it, right? So, and again, when you get out of rehab, guys, you gotta find a new environment. One of the biggest reasons I preach meetings is you're going to find a new community, because you got to have community, guys. You got to have people that you can talk to, you can support, and it's a lot better. It's nice to have family support, and don't get me wrong, I love my family. As a matter of fact, my brother sent me this beautiful sweater last night, right, that says, I'm living proof that no matter how bad it gets better, and it brought tears to my eyes. It made me feel amazing, and I love my brother Matthew for sending that to me. It meant the world to me. And as much as I love having them, an early addiction, guys, you got to have people that know what you're going through, and that's why I preach meetings, right? Even if you're not going to, some people stay with these meetings for the rest of their life, and some people use them as a crutch. You find your path, but in early sobriety, you got to get there, guys, because there's a community of like-minded people that are going through the same thing. So a lot of people have just taken the steps that you need to take right now, and they're going to have answers for you that somebody else may not. If somebody in your life does, that's awesome. By all means, grab onto everything. I'm not saying to shut anything out, but open up, expand your mind, open up your, your options, guys. You got to have as many options as you can, whether it's for protection or whether it's for minimizing risk. Okay. In some cases, guys, you're gonna have to find out. You're gonna have to get new jobs, because if you're, in a situation where everybody at work is using, don't be afraid of that, guys. Anytime you leave something negative behind, something positive comes into your life. When you invest in yourself, when you pray to God, when you start to meditate. I'm not saying you have to meditate. It's a small matter of how far you want to go. For me, I'm trying to build an entire new life, and I tell you what, the clarity and the ideas that come to me when I meditate, right? It gets me out of my own head, and it's literally the most powerful thing. So if it's something you're interested in, I urge you to try. But try anything, guys. Try anything that's positive, and if it doesn't stick, fine. But at least you gave it a shot, because you never know what might work. Like I used to think hypnosis was, getting up on stage and somebody making you, bark like a dog, or cluck like a duck, or whatever. No, I'm realizing, guys, that like part of the reasons I've worked so hard in my life and never gotten ahead is because I have all these subconscious blocks about money, about not feeling worthy of success, not feeling, thinking that money was the root of all evil, like all these things. I did this online worksheet before I did the hypnosis session today to see what kind of blocks were in place, and it was very enlightening, and it was very sad at the same time, because I realized that I've pre-programmed myself to either excuse not succeeding by saying that I have a fear of success, or that I think that money is the root of all evil. No, man, money's energy that you need to live life, to experience anything positive, to keep a roof over your head, to build a family. Like, if you want to do anything in life, you've got to have a good relationship with money. And that's something I'm working on right now. As a matter of fact, I put a large investment into the next 3 or 4 months. I'm going to be doing an awful lot to expand that, because I realize it's the last area of my life that I'm tackling right now, because I got everything else together real well, and I know how to make money, but I've never been able to hold on to it. And it's more than just the drugs, because I've always blown money in stupid, whether it was blown on myself, blown at somebody else, just not really been good at building things in that regard, right? Just, we're always working super hard to get money and then pissing it right away, and I refuse to do that today. So I'm doing every avenue I can to find ways to get over that. So don't be afraid of that, guys. Do not be afraid to try something new. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength, by all means, guys, right? Again, investing in yourself is the best investment you're ever going to make. But yeah, so find new hobbies. You gotta have joy in your life, guys. That's another thing that's taken me out of recovery, because I never found sober hobbies that I enjoy. Like, other than going to the gym, now I'm finding new things, right? I'm exploring different things online. I got this here going. This lights my heart up, guys. I love doing this, and it challenges me to stay on top and do my research and want to learn and be able to present ideas to you guys. And it's only going to expand. We're in Boston in the winter, so it's very limited as to what we've been able to do through the winter. But that's over, guys. It was 50 degrees, and like I said, I woke up yesterday morning. I could smell the new growth, the smell of spring in the air. So it's time to come out of hibernation and start making plans to live a life, getting out and doing things. So I'm starting to think of things that I want to do, and you can go online and look what's going on in your community. There's all sorts of different stuff that go on, guys. Different museums that we're checking out, different exhibits that go on everywhere in the city, or wherever your area is. But look into it, guys. Find things that you can do sober. Whether it's concerts, you can do a lot of the stuff that you used to do, but you can't do it with people that are actively using. So find, guys, that's why you find your community of people in a meeting or in a sober setting, other sober, like-minded people that are doing it. Again, if it's not sobriety related, then, whatever it is, guys, find your hobbies and find things that light you up and make, it means something to you, and start to look into them, start to do these things. You've got to be able to find joy in life. That's the biggest thing for me, growing my spirituality has been everything to me, because I'm finding what matters to me, and I'm finding who I am. And I was that lost that literally, like, I'm starting from scratch and rebuilding, because I was 180 degrees away from, where I wanted to be in the life that I wanted to live, but I'm not afraid of that today, and I'm not afraid to admit that today. So I put everything about me out here raw online because, A, nobody can ever use any of it against me because I'm throwing it right out here, and I'm healing from all of it. It's now no longer a defining characteristic. It's something that I've overcome. And I'm being the best version of me possible, and I preach that all the time, guys. Become the best version of you possible. It opens doors. It changes your world. Change your internal world, and eventually your external world is going to catch up. And that, again, that's where I'm at now, is my external world is catching up. And it is so encouraging, guys. Look at me, I gotta take a breath. I get into this thing, I just run. But, yeah, no, guys, I mean, it's amazing, and it's so well worth it, right? But expand. Don't be afraid to look into things that matter to you, right? No matter what somebody else might think of. So many things I'm doing today that, like, people in my old world just look at me like I got two heads, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing what matters to me, and I make sure that everything I'm doing is something positive because I want to be of service to people. So that kind of gives me a leg up, right? I mean, I can't really be running around doing real shitty things if my life purpose is to help other people. So it only helps me. But again, everybody's path is going to be a little bit different. But guys, whatever you do, just make sure it's something positive, uplifting, and it's not hurting you. It's not hurting somebody else. It's not breaking the law. It's not setting you up for trouble. And go all out, right? Play. Like, remember, guys, your attitude determines your reality. So change your attitude. Find ways. But you can't just say, oh, I'm changing my attitude. No, you got to do the work. You got to start slow. Get the help you need. Get into therapy. Talk to somebody, find somebody, do research online, read books, whatever the case may be. Do the legwork, because that's where the results comes in, and rewards come from results. Change comes from, change comes from doing the work, right? And you get results from making changes. So, and then, when you make changes, you get results, you get rewarded for that. I mean, it's a progression to everything, guys, right? So don't be afraid, man. Don't be afraid to start small, because it starts with baby steps, right? Those are the hardest things, is taking that first step. The hardest thing for me was putting down the drug, calling rehab, getting a bed. But once I did those things, and started to get a little bit clear, now I look back and I'm like, wow, are you kidding me? Like, how did I allow something like that to own me? I'll never do it again, because now I'm changing everything about it that brought me to that point. And you can do the same. And you can do this in any situation in your life, guys. Don't be afraid. That's the biggest thing is external pressure wants to keep you down. The world wants to keep you down. They want to keep you either, buying medication, or your insurance buying medication. So nobody wants you cured of anything, right? So you got to be the cure for yourself. You don't want to be, you don't want to be held hostage by anything in this world, and you don't have to be. Take the steps, do the work, right? Reap the rewards, man. Plant good seeds, get a good harvest, right? But don't be afraid to do the work, guys. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today, guys. Remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you guys are getting something out of it. I'm getting a lot more positive feedback. It means the world to me. It really does. We're going to start talking more about hobbies, and I'll start sharing experiences as the weather gets better and we get out here and, try and, point you guys in the right direction and stuff I like to do anyway. And again, but you got to, you got to do the work for yourself, and you may not like what I like. But again, I'll share with you anyway, just to show you guys what I'm overcoming and what I'm doing and what I'm not letting anything hold me back, right? Yeah, if there's anything I can do for you guys, please continue to comment, like, share, subscribe, talk to me, send me an email, let me know if there's something I can do for you. But regardless, God loves you, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. It means the absolute world to me. Guys, be safe. Take care of yourself, take care of others, do something good for somebody else. I can never say that enough. The more good you do for others, the more it's going to inspire them, and then, so on and so forth. And it just starts to create a movement, guys. You have no idea the power you have to influence other people when you're doing good. Okay? Guys, thank you so much. God loves you. I love you. Be safe.